All right, it has been a while since I did a Linux video, but here it is, doing a walkthrough of my first time using Linux Mint 21.2. I did log in actually to create this user account, but I didn't touch anything really. Just created another user account so I can screw around with it and then delete it later in case I decide to keep it. So I'm going to log in. Let's see. All right. And it now brings me to the Linux Mint desktop. And this is called the Cinnamon desktop for anyone that's not familiar with it. But what's new? I guess if you've used Linux Mint before, what's new in this latest edition? I really don't know, other than I have the page up on my other screen and I can just kind of go through it. And that's not going to be everything. But first off, the Linux Mint desktop, I love it. It's just Cinnamon is what it's called for their main edition, I guess you could call it. But what I really like about what they're doing is they're kind of future-proofing themselves, and they have a Debian edition, which that's a big deal because it's always been based on Ubuntu for up to I don't know, maybe a year ago. They offered this Debian edition, which kind of lets them make it their own more so, and not rely on Canonical, maybe, I guess, who makes Ubuntu, if you care about that kind of thing. But it's just a stable distribution, and people often refer to it as a beginner's distribution. It doesn't matter. If you know a lot about Linux, I don't, but I know enough about it. If you know a lot about Linux, you could do anything with Linux. So it's just like there's professionals that can use this and do whatever the heck they want with it because it's the Linux kernel at the end of the day under the hood. And you can make this desktop environment change. You can do whatever you want. You could change it to the Mate desktop. You can change it to, a tiling window manager, i3 or whatever, just different things. You can do that. But I like to stick with Cinnamon. It is simple, it's familiar, and it has the options that I feel are lacking in Windows 11, at least until the next release of Windows 11, and that is to change from window tiles or little buttons to the window name down here. To me, that's a big deal. I like that. That's something I never want to lose because it's always been useful for me and my productivity. So first off, let's just start with the welcome box. You got welcome and you got show this dialog at startup. I always like to go through this and see if anything is new, and then I uncheck this when I'm all done so it doesn't load ever again. But once you click let's go, it's just going to advance you to the next part. Yep, there it goes. And you can pick desktop colors. So right away, they're like getting down to business, and you can just change the colors. And they've had this in previous releases. So if you click that, let's see what we got. I like these presets, how you can just click this and then change everything all together. This is cool. Add Vita. Let's see, this is always a high contrast. Oh, that's cool. Changes all the icons down there. Minty. I guess let's just stick with Minty. That looks cool. Looks pretty neutral. And let's close the box. Cool, so we did that. System snapshot's not going to do now. Obviously, that takes some time, but very, very useful. It uses Time Shift, which is my favorite backup tool. Driver Manager. That's a little misleading in my opinion, but I don't know. I mean, if it's not intentional, but I think it's to make it easier for people to understand, because a kernel has your drivers, right? You're really just looking for a kernel that supports your chipset. So it's still really cool that there's a driver manager, but in Linux, everything either works or it doesn't basically right away until you find a kernel that supports your hardware. At least if I believe, if you're a Linux guru, correct me if there's something else I'm missing. I know there's modules, there's things you can load, but simply, it's basically you have the kernel. It just keeps growing and growing. It's got those drivers support packed in there. So Driver Manager, it's not going to find anything on this machine that I'm on, but especially if you're running like an Intel chipset, maybe a modern Intel. Like now, if you have NVIDIA graphics card, and it's going to probably find some third-party drivers that you can install, or the NVIDIA drivers, or even an open source one. You don't want to install those. You want to install the NVIDIA ones if you can. Update Manager. Now that's one that I would run, and basically update the entire system and reboot and be good to go. Have a new kernel, have the up-to-date everything. That's why I love Linux so much. Software Manager, very simplified and nice way to find software. Let's go to System Settings and kind of poke around here. And I did not prep any of this. I have no notes. I just, like I said, have the website up on my other screen. So let's look around. Linux Mint 21.2 is a long-term support release which will be supported until 2027. That's quite a ways. It comes with updated software and brings refinements and many new features to make your desktop experience more comfortable. That seems exactly what they're going for. It just is easy and to click around and get things done. So I'll just jump into ones that I think might be useful. Software Manager is one they talk about right away. Let's go to Software Manager and just launch that. This is my first time. You can see it's caching everything. Hasn't loaded before. See how long it takes. I can tell you one thing, Windows Update takes so damn long to do things. I'm pretty confident this won't take that long. The Software Manager was given a UI refresh. Okay, that sounds nice. And I'm looking at the other screen and it looks more pleasing to the eye. It's got lots of icons for each app. Yep, there it is. Wow. It does look better. I like these rectangles. They just stand out. You hover over them. They have the little on mouse over. And the list of featured applications was updated and now includes Flatpaks. Very cool. You don't have to kind of feel like you're going to search to how to enable them. But yeah, FlatHub right here. Todoist, it's got a bunch of probably Electron apps, but Flatpaks just run. They're self-contained apps, containerized, and you don't have to worry about dependencies. The scoring system was improved to give more visibility to new trending apps. I like that as well. So let's do a little poking around. If I click this little hamburger menu, if you want to call it that, it has some options. Okay, search in packages description, even slower search. I like that because if you want to search for an app that maybe compares itself to something else and they happen to write that in the description, it's going to find it. So, maybe they don't have everything in the title. That's very useful. So maybe I could find something that, let's click that. Okay, check that. Let's look for something that has the word Photoshop in the description and see how many apps. And it says it's slower if you do this. Oh yeah, that is so cool. It came up with GIMP, which is the new image manipulation program. Free alternative to Photoshop, and it's a Flatpak. Look at this. This is so cool. And it's, maybe it sucks. I don't know, but it's free to try it. You don't have to sign up and submit your email and sign up for a subscription and log in and be tracked. It's just free and it's there. And, maybe I go try out the app and I like it and then I go throw a few bucks to the developer. Because what if everybody did that liked the app and then he makes a lot of money? Let's install this and see how long it takes right out of the box. Type in my password. And again, this is a test user account. I've loaded nothing on it. And this is this is almost a gigabyte of download because Flatpaks contain everything to run. You don't have to have, dependencies installed in the operating system and be affected by the app. It's just the app will run. And they tend to run pretty quickly anyways. And I think that's nice because in a way it's more secure. Because you could have, immutable file systems and then just run a bunch of Flatpaks or any kind of containers, app images, and it's really useful. It's secure. And what do you know? It's done. So let's click launch and see how long it takes to launch. Again, this is some photo app that came up when I searched for the word Photoshop. And of course it says free alternative for Adobe Photoshop users. Now, sometimes it is 11:30 at night. Sometimes Flatpaks take longer to open for the first time. One notable one would be Firefox that's been included in some Linux distributions. It notoriously would launch slow on the first launch, but thereafter it would be fast. So let's see if that's what's happening. I'm on my workstation computer. I'm recording 60 frames per second video. Got an audio interface plugged in. This is a virtual machine with 8 gigs of RAM. which should be plenty for this. You know, it's still working out my computer a little bit. All right, so yeah, I'm not a fan of this already. I mean, to me, it's just a website wrapped inside of an app, I think. And if you look here, its responsiveness kind of shows that. So I don't like that. So that's the cool thing. I can just close this, and then I can go to this software manager, click remove, and say goodbye. And it is gone. So now let's go back and search for Photoshop. And simple front end for the EXIF tool, GIMP. Okay, so GIMP is one I'm familiar with. It is a fantastic photo editing app. I love it. And I'm not going to install it today. It's very popular. You can find thousands of tutorials on it. It's great. And it can do a lot of stuff you can do with Photoshop. Can it do everything? No. But it can do probably everything you need if you get good enough at it. It takes some skill. You can learn it online, though, for free. So let's see the next thing that is worth looking at that's new in Linux Mint 21.2. And that is Pix, P-I-X. Let's type it in. I'm assuming it's under the, if we went to the graphics, yep, it's there. And this is to organize your images. So the new thing about this, the new G-Thumb UI was adopted. It uses header bars, and buttons instead of toolbars and menu bars. So that's cool. Okay, it's slightly less discoverable for newcomers, but it looks very clean and remains quite intuitive. The rebase brings 168 new features or user visible changes, most notably better performance, faster image loading, faster navigation, support for AVIF, HEIF, and JXL formats, improved support for GIF, RAW, and TIFF images, improved zoom controls. Very cool, very cool. Are there any dummy pictures on here? Let's go download a few pictures off the internet. And let's see how fast Firefox launched immediately. Free images. Let's just go download a few of these, right? Okay, so I'm going to download, a photo. Let's go to this. Accept cookies. Yeah, you can give me cookies. I love cookies. Save. Oops, what am I doing? Free images. Free download. There we go. Okay. Download. Wait for the No. Let's go to pixabay.com. Heck with this. Let's go. Here's an image right here. The site looks very similar, but you go here. Let's download a really high resolution photo. Son of a gun. Yeah. I'm not going to sign in. You can kiss my ass too. Okay, see pexel.com. Let's try that one. You got to sit here and watch me troubleshoot. Sorry. Oh my, Pexels, you win tonight. That was great. You just let me download a photo for free and didn't even ask for my ID. Somebody knocks at the door. They're like, what are you? We need your information. You forgot to fill it out. Okay, let's do this flower. Okay? Yeah. Download. Let's do. I went to Pixel. Okay, whatever. So we got a picture out of this. So that's all that matters, right? Okay. Close this and go to downloads. Okay, let's move to. This is just so fast and easy. It's easier than cluttered windows. Okay, so I moved it to pictures. Cool. There it is. So better performance, faster image loading. Let's double click it instantly. And it shows you 27%. Everything's right there. I feel like the photo viewer in Windows 11, it's like I don't see all the stuff right up front. Like is it full size? Is it view image in full size? Am I looking at it at 100%? I have to click some info to get the metadata to see if it is. It's all right here. It's like, here's the resolution. It's 1.1 megabytes, and I'm at 27% of the actual image size. So if I right click on it, set as background, open with, copy image, very cool. So if I can right click or, mouse wheel up to what 100% should look like, and that's what it's supposed to look like. It's got support for color profiles. More professional photo editing people know what that is, and use it more effectively than I do. Color picker. It's even got a color picker. That is so cool. Let's see. Where's it at? Let's zoom back out. Yeah. Okay, what is this? Edit file. Oh my gosh, you can edit it? This is so cool. More default, intuitive default configuration, support for Cinnamon, Mate, XFCE. Does it talk about the editor? Is that new, or have I just not noticed this for a long time? But this is pretty freaking slick that you can just do this like you can in Windows and not have to be in Windows. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Yep, I'm looking on the page and it does say new image tools, special effects and curves. That is awesome. Okay, so colors, rotation, format, resize, and crop. Oh, you can crop it right here. I love it. It's just easier to get to all this. And then accept. Done. That's so fast. I mean, can I undo it? Oh, yes. That is so cool. Control Z works. This is great. I might put this on my personal laptop. I might do this. It's a big possibility. What's this? No way. Oh, you could comment right here. So it's like maybe a metadata. Does it talk about comments here? Special effects, keywords, more intuitive. It talks about activating filters, template editor to edit, script commands, rename templates. I want to see where the color picker's at. Where am I missing? Is it right in front of me? Is it right in front of me? Come on. Is there a color picker? Convert format. That's cool. Where am I missing this? Export to Flickr, import. Maybe just right click on the image. Let's see. Dude, what am I missing? Oh, it's right there. There it is. Pick a color. It's just kind of like in the tools. Okay. That is awesome. Can I drag it? No, you just click. Each time you click, that is nice. That is so handy. I've had to use Windows Power Toys and browser plugins. None of that horse shit. Just download the image, click it, and I'm good to go. So this is awesome. Another thing they talk about is folder icons, the colors of them. They used to have a stripe, but now they have just it says beautiful two-tone icons. So if you go into your folders and you just look around, oh yeah, it's just pleasant. It's easy on the eyes. It's very easy to see everything. The contrast is perfect for me. And you can change your theme to make it perfect for you. You can even make them pink like your folders. It's just so cool. So simple, but just a nice touch. That's what I like. They do it well. Everything is done so well in this distribution. They blow me away. New color variants were introduced for popular colors. This one is Yaru from Papyrus, inspired by the Yaru theme from Ubuntu. And let me see if I can save it to. Oh no, I can't save it. I'm on my I'm on a different computer where my mouse is jumping between the computers, but there's a Yaru theme. It looks really cool. It's like not gray or black, but it's like a dark gray that just looks really nice. So there's more consistency around the operating system. Pretty much like tooltips are transient elements which highlight or event a feature, and they should be beautiful and noticeable. So like just things like these drop downs, they just stand out. Everything pops. These just the font here doesn't look cheap, like they tried to make it their own and but like Windows too much. It just looks, the fonts in the Explorer in this little navigation pane here look better to me than Windows. I don't know. It's just strange. I don't know what it is about it, but it works. Title bars, the buttons were realigned. So up here, these are realigned. That's just something minor, but very nice. And they worked hard on this. There's mono icons. Let's see. So if you right click, they talk about the copy icons. Oh yeah, these are just really nice. Yeah, everything just looks crisp to me. And this isn't a big ass kiss fest. I really, really like this distribution, and I always have. It's kind of like gotten me more into Linux and understanding it from a simple start. You just start here, and you can use this, and you can learn Linux if you want, or you can just keep using it as your typical, Windows-like operating system. And they go on to talk more about the variants that you've seen in the beginning when I started. And that was in this little welcome box where I did the first steps, and then I went to this part up here, the desktop colors. There was a little part that said appearance. So these little variants right here, this is what's, and I already talked about this, but I didn't realize this was the first time they've done this. And a variant is a combination of themes which work well together. So they just kind of do the guessing for you, like, oh, is it going to be ugly with that color? Is it going to work with that background? No, you click each one of these. It's kind of like what Mac OS does out of the box. You can click dark or light or your iPhone. But this is just simple. I like it. I can go to dark. And it doesn't look like everything's blacked out so much I can't see it. The text just looks pleasant with the contrast of the black and white right here. If you go to light, it's not like, okay, I just burn out my eyeballs. The idea behind styles, they go on to say, is modes and variants. The idea behind styles, modes, and variants is to make it really simple to switch to something that looks great and to quickly browse what's there, no matter how many individual themes are installed, and without having to find elements which match each other. There's a lot of thought going into this. It's almost like it's ready to sell. You know what I mean? It's like, are you guys going to release a line like System 76? Maybe do you have something like that I don't know about? This is nice, and it's like, I'm ready to buy something. You just got to tell me what it is. So notifications. The Cinnamon notifications were redesigned to feature the accent color. Gesture support was added for window management, workspace management, tiling, and media controls. Gestures are supported on touchpads, touchscreens, and tablets. So I don't know what tablets would work with Linux Mint. I don't know. I don't know what the kernel supports. But I do believe it would be easier to support maybe a touchscreen laptop that has the touch already built in. But who knows? Maybe you could try it on your touch tablet. You can give it a shot. You can run off a boot disk, USB, and just see if it works without destroying your data, which that's another beautiful thing about Linux. Other improvements are the main menu is now resizable. Oh yeah, I heard about this one actually, and that is cool. Look at this. It's kind of like what Windows 10 did for a little while, and they kind of did weird things to it in like 2017, like changed it up. Like when you remove icons, it would auto size to shrink, and fit. But this is cool. You can just take this, drag it out, make it gigantic, or collapse it. So like if I go to all applications, let's see. Yeah, that's really cool. I like it. So you just drag the edge, it says, to resize it to your liking. So that's what I did. That works perfectly. Experimental theme support for bump map and blur was added to Cinnamon. Notifications for low-level battery connected devices can be disabled. Okay, great, because I get that all the time on my Logitech M270, M720. I do. I get that all the time. It's a thing. So Nemo, that's the file manager, features multi-threaded thumbnails instead of generating each thumbnail one by one. Nemo now generates multiple thumbnails in parallel. This uses more CPU, but it results in loading directory and contents faster. Good. I don't want it to just choke out. I use my computer to get it to load faster. Especially for directories which contain large amounts of media files. CJS, the Cinnamon JavaScript interpreter, was rebased on GJS 1.74 to make use of SpiderMonkey. Don't know what that is. Don't know what it means. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know what SpiderMonkey is. I know what a JavaScript interpreter is. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to look into that. I don't know. Warpinator. This is a really cool, fast file transfer tool. And they did, I don't know if they still do, have an app in the App Store. It's in like the, what do you call it? Test Flight, where you can sign up for this Apple Test Flight and download the app on your iPhone. It doesn't mean it'll be around forever, but they're testing it, and you can test it as well. And I did send test files between an iPhone and my laptop when I had Linux Mint on it, and it was extremely fast. I hope it stays around and it just takes off and people start using it more, because really cool that you can just send something to your phone from the computer and it not have to be AirDrop or something proprietary. So although access to the local network itself should be monitored or restricted in the first place, once you're connected to it, you can see and interact with other Warpinator instances. It's kind of like your own free version of AirDrop, maybe? That's where they're going with this, it seems. The SUSE security team recently performed a review of the code base and highlighted some concerns. Discussions followed and decisions were taken to harden the security in Warpinator. That's always good. Is there anything else significant? I'm reading while I'm talking. There's a lot of stuff here. In preparation for future potential bugs or security issues, changes were implemented to completely isolate Warpinator from the file system and make it technically unable to write anywhere other than the incoming folder. Very cool. Sounds kind of like an Apple approach with the iPhone, where they segregate every app is segregated or containered from the other ones, I guess. So annoying when you really want to tweak your phone, but it's actually more secure in the long run. Linux Mint 21.2 features full support for the HEIF, as I said, and AVIF image files. Adobe Illustrator documents are supported by XReader and Document Viewer. Oh, that's cool. NVIDIA Offload is now handled by libxapp and delegated to Switcheroo. This is used by Cinnamon and Mint Menu. There's artwork improvements for your backgrounds. Let's see if we can go to that. Let's close this and close this. And right-click, go to change desktop backgrounds, and there they are populating. You can change these. That's a really cool one. I like that. But then you can go to each distribution or edition, I guess, of Linux Mint and change to something else. Woo, that's bright. Indonesia. Okay, let's go with that. And close. Okay, cool. So I changed my background. Until 2024, future versions of Linux Mint will use the same package base as Linux Mint 21.2, making it trivial for people to upgrade. Until 2024, the development team won't start working on a new base and will be fully focused on this one. Well, it makes me confident that I can install this, have 4 years of support with all these security updates until 2027. I think it's worth upgrading, and I think if you are interested in trying Linux Mint, do not hesitate. Just do it. So let's go poke around a little more before I just go. I know I talked and read their description a lot more than I actually did stuff. Let's look at system settings. Effects, cool. Window effects. Closing windows, fly. Let's close this window now. Haha, so cool. Simple, and it works. Okay, cool. That's fun. Extensions. Let's see if we go to plus. Oops, download. Transparent panels, Cinnamon Maximus. Watermarks. Place a watermark on the desktop. Okay. I mean, you could do anything you want just about in Linux. So I downloaded it. Now you go to manage, I believe. Will it appear there? I did this before. Let's go back again. Oh, it just said install. There it is. That was fast. I just must not have clicked it correctly. Hit plus. And now is there a watermark? Oh, there's a watermark. That's so cool. So let's kind of tinker with this. It's fun. You can do so many things. You can maybe do your business logo here if you wanted. You could change the opacity of it. Oh, that is so cool. Linux Mint. Let's do Debian. Oh, you could change the logo? That's so cool. What other ones are there? Manjaro? Oh my gosh. My gosh. Wow. Cinnamon. There we go. That looks cool. Let's do 25. That's kind of cool. Use a custom size. Okay, cool. I like that. What else? Let's close this. There's so many things you can do. I just can't cover it all. Documentation. Help. Yeah, the chat room. I've been there before. They're actually really cool and helpful there. Doesn't seem like there's a bunch of snobby, elitists there. They're all really nice. So let's uncheck this, close it. Let's go install something that I would first install when I get this. And I would go to our system administration, And we would go to Software Manager, and we would search for a piece of software. Let's search for, and remember, I slowed search down by adding the description. Let's do Obsidian, because I love that app. And it's just already coming out with flat packs, ready to go. I don't have to tinker around with it that much. And I'm surprised Obsidian's only 176 megs with such a fully featured, amazingly powerful application. Let's install it and see how fast it launches, because it sure as heck installs quickly. And then I'm going to get going after this. It's getting really late. And then we can click launch and see how fast it launches. The question is, does it launch from Software Center or do we have a bug? Because last time I clicked it, if you remember, from that photo app and it did not open, but I went to the menu, which I edited that out, I believe. Where do we go? Internet, Office. It's going to be under Office. Obsidian. Click it, and there it is. That was fast. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.